Hi students, let us have a discussion on the ideology of capitalism and laissez-faire theory. Capitalism, that is an ideology that governs the entire transactions, especially the economic transactions of Europe, the beginning of the 19th century. Capitalism, that is an antithesis to socialism. That theory based on the idea of social equality. Laissez-faire, or what actually means free trade. The meaning of laissez-faire, that is let them do, or otherwise means least interference of government in governmentality. Capitalist idea, that is based on the theory of laissez-faire, that is against the idea of mercantilism. Mercantilism that demands the maximum interference of government in almost all activities, especially the trade activities. But laissez-faire theory argued that the best government is least governed. Best government is least governed. That means minimum interference of government in administrative or other activities. And the capitalists that demanded absolute freedom in business. Let the individuals free. Let them do. Not to interfere in their internal matters. Not to serve or come as a block to the individual activities. So the capitalism that demands the absolute freedom in business. And this is based on capitalism, that is based on the idea of economic liberalism and Manchester School of Economics. The capitalists argued that the economic world is regulated by certain natural laws, such as law of supply and demand or the law of diminishing returns. Economic activities that is based on certain natural laws such as law of supply and demand and law of diminishing returns. Law of supply and demand that say that when the supply increase, that demand decrease, and when there is shortage of supply, the demand that will increase. And another natural law they propounded is of the law of diminishing returns. Adam Smith, who is considered as the father of capitalism and father of political economy, he believed in personal liberty, private property, and individual initiative and private enterprise. Adam Smith wrote a magnum opus, Wealth of Nations. In his Wealth of Nations, he propounded certain ideas that is based on personal liberty, private property, and individual initiative and private enterprises. He was born in Kirkcaldy in Scotland in 1723. He was educated at the universities of Glasgow and Oxford. He had a sound education. He became professor first of logic and then of moral philosophy at world famous Glasgow University. And he was highly influenced by the idea of French physiocrats. That is the another form of capitalism in France, physiocrats. And liberalist ideas, writings of liberalism that was highly influenced by Adam Smith. And Adam Smith's idea later provide a strong background to the physiocrats and economic liberalism. In 1778, Adam Smith was appointed as the Commissioner of Customs in Edinburgh. This is a short biography that we have about Adam Smith, the champion of capitalism. And in his world famous work, Wealth of Nations, he introduced the theory of division of labor. Division of labor, that is the base of capitalism. The division of labor theory that is concerned with two things. One is the size of the market and international trade. Size of the market and international trade. He studied that, or he argued that the wealth of a nation, that is depending upon division of labor, size of the market and international trade. Division of labor, that is depending upon the size of the market. If the size of the market is big or large, there is so much space for the division of labor. Division of labor means specialization. Specialization in different labor process and specialization in different process within the same industry. If we have to introduce, or if we want to introduce specialization in a particular industry or factory, we need much demand for the products coming out from that factory. If there is no such demand for a particular products coming out from a factory or industry, we can't apply division of labor in its true sense. So the size of the market, division of labor, that is depending upon the size of the market. Size of the market or the width of the market can be increased through the international trade. Only through the international trade, only through the precipitation of the international trade, size of the market can be increased. So his Wealth of Nations make an argument on division of labor, size of the market and international trade that are interdependent and interrelated. One, he argued that labor is the source of the wealth of nation. Wealth of a nation, that is determined by labor, and division of labor refers to the specialization of labor in different industries or different processes within the same industry. Nations, according to Adam Smith, nations' true wealth consists not only in gold and silver, but in lands, houses, and consumer goods and of all different kinds. Along with the gold and silver, other property of a nature is its land, houses, structures, consumer goods, and things. According to him, governments were wasteful, corrupt, and incompetent. Best government is least governed. When a government that is involved in almost all activities, day-to-day life of the people, administrative activities, construction work, if the government is involved in almost all activities, that will be wasteful, corrupt, and incompetent. So the best way that is least interference in the governmentality. So that make the government as good. Another important thinker in concern with capitalism is Ricardo. He introduced a book named Principle of Political Economy in 1810. Another one is that High Price of Bullion, another important work of Ricardo, and Pamphlet, that is another important work. And he introduced a theory on value. Ricardian theory of value is a labor theory of value. Ricardo has recognized two forms of value. Ricardo identified two forms of value. One that is value in use and other one that is value in exchange. That means value of a commodity that depend upon two things: value of a product, value of an object, or value of a commodity, that is depend upon two important things. One that is scarcity and another one that is quantity of labor required to obtain them. If there is scarcity for a particular product, if there is shortage for a particular product, naturally the value of that products that will increase. The value of that products increase. And second one is that how much of labor that is required to obtain them. For example, some of the products that came out or come out because of the involvement of large number of people or large number of technicians. So if a products that need the support of large number of laborers, naturally the value of that products will increase. So Ricardian theory make a comment that the value of commodity depend upon two important things. One that is scarcity and another one that is quantity of labor required to obtain them. How much labor that is required, how much labor input is required to create a product, that increases the value of that products. And another theory of Ricardo is concerned with the rent. Rent rises on account of differences in the fertility of lands. And third theory is that Ricardian theory of wage. He argued that the wage are the prices of labor. Wage is the price of labor. Labor has its natural price and market price. Market price of the labor depends on the supply and demand. If there is abundant supply of labor, market price of the labor will be low. And if there is scarcity of labor, market price will be rise. That means if there is large number of technicians, skilled workers for a particular projects, or if there is large availability of labor, naturally the market price of the labor will decrease. But if there is shortage of labor, naturally the labor price will increase. For example, in the case of pilot, there is shortage of technically oriented pilots. So naturally the market price of pilot that will increase. And another thinker who is not directly connected with the capitalism and whose name was Thomas Malthus, who introduced the theory concerned with the population, and this theory argued that the population will be doubled by time and space, and that will serve as catastrophe to the entire humanity. But the later time it is proved that the Malthusian theory, that was a false one, because of the modern means of technologies, modern means of medicine, or modern means of or scientific devices, and the population that was controlled. And in this way, Malthusian theory was not a successful model. So, in concern with the capitalism, we familiarized the three important thinkers. One, Adam Smith, and second one, that is Ricardo, and third one, Thomas Malthus. So we have to stop there, and I will come with another topic next day.